What do your family think about you putting hundreds of photos of yourself on the internet?
They're very, very supportive. There was at the start when my parents were a bit worried, like, what are you doing, what is this? But they've been very, very supportive, and they bought me my camera, and they bought me costumes and backdrops and things like that.
So what does my family think about me putting hundreds of photos of myself on the internet? My sister Lisa here will give you her honest opinion.
Well, I really don't mind because I don't see any of these photos, so I don't have DeviantArt, and it doesn't really affect me, so... Ali Bunga, have you ever had a scenario or story behind a set of stock? If so, has that scenario or story ever been carried through in minutes?
Oh yeah, definitely. Pretty much all of my stock is character-based. Some characters have a very specific costume or look or cultural background that I use as a reference. For example, Sleeping Beauty or Goldberry from Tolkien, or Juliet Marillier characters, or Corpse Bride, things like that. And I like cosplay, and it's something that I'm getting into a bit more, and I'm using that as an element of stock. So especially with things like Corpse Bride, which is very widely recognisable, people have used that quite a lot in context of the Corpse Bride movie and created artworks that fit in with that theme.
Some people, like yourself, spend considerable time and money on producing stock. What's your opinion on fundraising?
I definitely approve it. Stock costs a lot of money to make if you got to put in a lot of effort. A lot of things you can do for very cheap or for free and stuff, but in the long run it all adds up, and to receive even a little bit of help from anyone else is so appreciated. It all goes back to providing more stock. Well, when I get donations, all the money goes back into acquiring things that will help me provide better stock or more stock in the future. So it's not like I take the money and then run off down to the shop to buy whatever. It's going towards a purpose which is effective for everybody.
DJ Bunny 12, why do you choose to do free stock rather than make someone else pay for your stock? Seriously, your work looks so professionally done, and it looks like a lot of work done with it.
Well, I really just like the level of interaction on DeviantArt from stock artists and stock users. I tried for one day it was for 1 week on Stock Exchange for opening an account, and offered some things there, but it felt kind of faceless. I didn't have I like how you can really get to know the people who come to your account, and you know regular users, and you know people's styles. And
are they photos that you plan to use personally, or just make them available to others as well?
Okay, I do keep back about a third of the stock I make for my own personal use. Either it's because I have something planned for them and I want to make it first before anyone else does the exact same idea with my stock, or that I'm keeping them back so that I can upload them. There's a period where I don't make any new things, or just like saving them for a rainy day. I do also make stock for personal requests that I don't put onto DeviantArt, which it can take some time to make because it's quite specific to what people want. Yeah, but most of it does go on DeviantArt.
Mr. Cup, why do you do it? Do you like seeing what people do with the photos?
Well, the simplest answer is because I enjoy it so much. I have so much fun both with the acting out, the photography, and seeing the artworks come back in. I really like the interaction between stockers and stock users, and just people on the internet who it's what keeps me coming back, really. I like being a muse or an inspiration for other artworks, and being a part of the developing art world. And yeah, it's really just that I enjoy it so much.
Why did you decide to dedicate so much of your time to create a wonderful collective of resources for us artists?
Because I enjoy it so much. It's so much fun to make stock, and also seeing what other people give back in terms of stock use. I just really enjoy it.
You have some conditions for the use of your photos. How do you feel, and what can you do when people abuse them, particularly if they're used for hate, violence, off-the-mark purchases?
Well, with the minor rule breakings, like someone's posted in the wrong category, or they just haven't credited or something, usually I don't get that angry. I just, ask them a quick reminder, and if they, usually it's just because they've forgot to read the rules, or they forgot to add them at whatever time, and they just quickly change it. There have been some people where I think I've only had to report 1 or 2 deviations because they've ignored me and they've continued to use my stock incorrectly, and then they've been deleted, but that hasn't really been a problem. In terms of hate and more second racist images? Violent images. That's not so much of a problem because I really let people use my stock for subject matter in whichever way they like, and I've never really had a problem with it. There's been 2 occasions where I've been decapitated in the image, and that disturbed me, but I kind of detached myself somewhat from the stock use, so I don't see it as a personal attack on me, and there's never been any stock use which I have found to be grossly inappropriate to other people or to myself, so it's not really been a problem. Absolutely horrible comments and experiences, but I've been quite lucky in that respect. I do get sometimes the fetishists out there on the internet do kind of worry me a bit. They do come to my account quite a bit, especially the dead girl fetishists, and they really worry me. That's I'll talk to you about that later. People who try to what's the word? People who try to fool people into taking pictures of them which aren't used as an art resource, but as a
you know what you're talking about.
but as not as art purposes do worry me, and that's probably one of the things that has made me consider leaving DeviantArt. But there's been 2 very bad experiences which I haven't really told anyone about, and that has definitely made me consider leaving DeviantArt. That's identity theft on MySpace, and also on Vampire Freaks, where these people had stolen all my images and my names, and they were pretending they were me, and they were saying foul things about myself, and they had gotten a link to my email, so I had received some very worrying emails, and that's why I don't have my email out for public anymore.
Is there anything you've done with your stock that you didn't like or approve of?
Yeah, when I first started stock and I didn't really know what was going on with fetishists and rude people, I did do a couple of fetish requests, like curtsying people and a couple of feet things, and there was one dead girl one which I didn't know was a girl fetish at the time, and I really regret putting those up, or putting my sister in that position, because I thought it was an innocent request. I wish I did a bit more research about the community at the time, because they really do fool people into thinking that it's a reasonable thing to do instead of a not so reasonable one.